It's health stuff, and it's very often people who have insurance. But the game is for the insurance company to find a reason not to pay out on whatever this thing is. So like I went in a couple weeks ago, my back was really, really hurting me bad, like to the point where I couldn't sleep type of hurting bad. And so I went in, I got insurance, and I got to look into this. But apparently my back hurt so bad I can't sleep did not earn me no coverage on that particular trip that I took to the doctor. And, maybe I'm able to fix this. Or maybe they don't pay for that. Yeah. I got it. I'm cool. But can you imagine being in a situation where your back hurts so bad that you can't go to sleep and you can't afford to go do nothing about it?
And I know what you do for a living, and I know other people have manual labor jobs.
Yes.
So can you imagine that you have a manual labor job and you can't sleep?
Right.
Which means you can't work.
The loss of blood and treasure. These are the two things that are respected and valued during each and every era of the human experience. Even before we became so sophisticated and created the systems that we now navigate in today's society. In the capitalist system we call America, the first question you must always ask: what is the incentive? More times than not, the answer to this question will be profit or monetary gain, aka treasure. Growing up in the South and being raised in a Christian family under apostolic teachings, I came up being indoctrinated with the belief that the love of money or treasure is the root of all evil. Now that I am older with the ability to lean into my own understanding and comprehension, something else I was advised not to do, I view this differently. Money or treasure is only energy, and energy can be received in a myriad of ways. Most notably, providing a service to others generates a cycle of energy. With that clear understanding, this is exactly where the ignorance comes into play and the train goes completely off the track with our healthcare system here in the United States of America. In no other exchange of service or reciprocity of energy is the objective not to perform the service that is supposed to be rendered, like in insurance. You see, the way insurance companies become so big and profitable is by not providing you with the actual service that they are charging you for. In other words, taking energy without reciprocity. In fact, they are so incentivized to do this that they are literally using their clients' money in order to pay others to find and create loopholes and pitfalls just so they don't have to cover the services that their clients have already paid for. This practice results in a lot of pain, sickness, and death, aka blood. The other piece of the puzzle when I speak of the loss of blood and treasure. Now, some people who may be shallow-minded, ignorant, or incapable of comprehending where I'm about to go with this will think I'm referring to just race. But they would be wrong. You see, this whole situation is literally an insult to the intelligence of the American people in a multiple ways. I'll break down a few. The first insult is that you have people who are calling this an act of domestic terrorism. Are you fucking kidding me? With the hundreds of thousands of gun-related deaths that occur every day here in the United States of America, these idiots have the nerve to say that this is a domestic terrorist because the victim was a billionaire CEO. So I'm guessing all those gangs that are literally terrorizing poor neighborhoods in America, dropping bodies and making rap songs bragging about it, even though it's in their own neighborhoods, I guess that's not considered domestic terrorism. You know, I could really labor that point, but I'll move on in this instance. The next insult will be that they found and arrested a John Doe within 7 business days. Let that sink in. They don't even send in your background check when you're applying for a job within 7 business days. Now, I know damn well that with all the technology in our society, that it is ignorant to think that you can get away with murder. But that's mainly my point about this insult. For example, Quando Rondo's cousin or best friend was murdered while pumping gas, execution style, in broad daylight near the Beverly Center in Los Angeles, California, August 2022. This is a highly populated area with all kinds of surveillance. It took the feds over 2 years to put anyone in custody for the same type of action that was inflicted on this billionaire CEO. Dirk Banks and 5 of his associates that are alleged to have committed the act just got arrested in October of 2024. Now you tell me, what is the difference between the two? In my view, it's just a constant reminder that they don't truly give a damn about certain communities when it comes to this kind of stuff. They can literally put forth real resources toward curbing these types of killings all over the country, but they choose not to because of incentive. The last insult that I'll elaborate on at this time is the fact that so much of the mainstream media is appalled that so many of the everyday American people lack empathy for the murder of a CEO. Now, in this moment, I will take a moment to show respect to Brian Thompson, because I don't know this man, nor did I know what was in his heart. I don't advocate for violence unless it's in defense of the life of the vulnerable. You see, even though I wouldn't want anyone to be killed, this is the space where, as a human, I am conflicted. Again, I understand that the only true message that gets across loud and clear is the loss of blood and treasure. Well, these healthcare insurance companies have been sending a message with a bullhorn over the years. They have been in the business of taking the treasure of hardworking citizens and refusing to help them in their times of crisis, which leads to a loss of blood or life. The ignorance of not understanding this truth is mind-boggling. From the writings in his papers, which they claim to be some type of manifesto, to the writings on the shell casings and this overt act, we can all understand why this man took this action. There is so much noise and condemnation for the killing of just one man, but these insurance companies participate in a business model that allows the death of millions of their clients each and every year. No, it is not fair to place complete blame on the shoulders of Brian Thompson alone. But in the same breath, he is profiting and benefiting from this exact same system. Unless he's an idiot that doesn't do anything except cash checks, he definitely knew what was going on. It's completely strange to me how the masses are expected to be okay with and allow something as egregious as this to go on without serious backlash. Everyone knows this has been a problem, but they simply refuse to change the incentive. The thing that loss of blood, aka life, does, it makes you aware of what could possibly happen to you if you continue to not do right by others. There is a system in place for bad behavior, whether it be speeding in a residential area or cold-blooded murder. Now just imagine for a second if there was a system in place that punished these large corporations who profit from not providing the services that they charge for. Now I want you to imagine thousands of people with the same mindset as Luigi Mangione. Do you think something would change when it comes to the American healthcare system and its profit-based incentive? Again, all these questions are just hypotheticals. I'm not a proponent of violence unless it's a defense of the life of the vulnerable. But then again, there are millions of vulnerable American citizens who need their healthcare provider to cover the services that they have been selling. Deuces.
The kicker about the insurance thing is, to drive the point home about how some things don't work in capitalism, is when the incentive is to provide a quality service for money, that makes some sense. So like, if I own a restaurant, there's reason to believe that if my service is better and my food is better, then I will make more money. Think about the structure of insurance. You know how I make more money? By not giving you the shit that I promised you.
Correct.
That is fucking, like, not to use a word that I feel like is overused and misunderstood, that is actually diabolical.
Yeah.